Hello everyone, and glad you can make it back to another After Effects to Fusion Quickie. Today we're going to be studying color correction. The main nodes that you use in color correction in After Effects are kind of the same nodes you use in Fusion, but a little bit different. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Okay, so here we are in our trusty Digital Fusion, and we want to do some color correcting or color tweaking, but we don't really know how to do it. But we do know how to do it in After Effects. If we come to After Effects, we just I usually grab just the levels, and hue saturation is pretty much the two nodes I need to do the majority of my color corrections. Some people use curves, which I don't really do unless I'm trying to match color to a very specific image. And sometimes people use, I believe, color balance. Yeah, color balance, where you can do shadows, midtones, highlights, and individual channels. So we're going to have this along with this in one node basically. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so let's grab the color node and hook it up to this shot here. Okay, so let's go back to After Effects and take a look at our levels. Alright, levels is pretty simple. You get the RGB together and individual channels, red, green, and blue. You can just adjust these as you need and do whatever it is you want to do to color correct. Okay, okay. So in Fusion, you have that exact same node under the menus, levels. And there you have it. The exact same one. Channels, red, green, blue. Your master channel, RGB, just like you would in After Effects. But unlike After Effects, they've combined this node down here, the shadows, red, green, blue, midtones, red, green, blue, and highlights, red, green, blue, into the same node as this. So if you go to ranges, you can go shadows, midtones, and highlights. So there you go. You got those two nodes as one node or one menu option here in Fusion, which is kind of cool. But one thing After Effects doesn't show you is what it considers highlights and shadows. So how do we find out what is considered highlights and shadows? Well, that's what this thing is, the ranges. So if you select this and change it to highlights, it will show you in a black and white matte what it considers highlights. And in other words, it's this sky here. If you want to crunch it a bit more to pull in a little bit more of that sky, well, you can do that. All right, you're not affecting the actual image, you're just affecting what it considers highlights and shadows. And the same thing with the shadows. Look at all this darkness. If you want to crunch that a little bit more to make it darker, then you can do that. And then switch it back to results. And then now when you choose highlight, shadows, or midtones, let's go to the shadows and let's make them green, just for whatever reason. See, it just deals with that right down in here, but it didn't mess with any of this up here. So that's kind of nice about Fusion versus After Effects when it comes to dealing with your highlights, shadows, and midtones. So the next thing we want to look at is this, hue saturation. And everyone's familiar with this. You want to be able to adjust, let's say the reds here. Let's go turn this off. Reset that. And so you want to adjust the reds and maybe shift the reds a bit. Alright. Desaturate it, lighten it up, darken it, whatever. In Fusion, you need another node for that called the Hue Curves node. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alright, and so first you got to pick your color. Figure out where it lies on this chart. So red through red as it cycles through. So we're going to choose our red. Actually, let's choose right there. It came up there, but you can barely see it. So let's choose something else. Let's choose the green. There we go. So you see a little triangle? That shows you where this color is plotted on this color graph. So now, what do you want to do with it? You want to adjust the saturation. There you go. You've just adjusted the saturation and then made a nice fall off, so it's a softer fall off. Let's adjust the hue. So we know it's in this territory-ish. Let's grab this, and then we can adjust the hue. course, we took out all the saturation, so we really can't see the saturation. Alright, so here we go. Change the hue. Alright, so we'll do that. Then what about the luminance? The luminance is in this area, so let's go ahead and tone it down, tone it up, tone it down. This to me is more intuitive than this is. Okay, so now we want to do, let's go ahead and reset this. Let's colorize this button here. Alright, sometimes we like to colorize or shift it, you know. So in Fusion, let's go back to our color corrector and we can do that. Let's reset this. And all you have to do is grab one of these and move it over. There we go. So shift it around the color wheel. You don't have to guess where it's at. Desaturate it, or less color, more color. All right, so that's pretty self-explanatory. So and that's pretty much all the three or main color correctors that one uses when dealing with color corrections, all wrapped up in these two nodes right here. So hope you enjoyed and it was informative. Give me a comment below and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.